And we're back, and you are listening to Villaincast, BJJ Anti-Heroes, with myself, Chris the Villain Pains, and Naqi El Jefe Arshed, and welcome to Reap the Week. But first, before we start the episode, I'd like to announce that the Patreon is evolving into In Theory BJJ, concept-driven jiu-jitsu. On top of the usual Patreon content, including webinars and one-to-one coaching, there will now be a growing database of jiu-jitsu techniques and their underlying concepts. To find out more, go to www.patreon.com/intheorybjj. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for it. There's so much work.
Yep.
Oh,
Are you planning to put on older stuff or just everything fresh?
Oh no, everything that's already been recorded is on there. So everything that's already been recorded is already featured on there. So you get all the access to the old videos. There's going to be this new database using the Patreon collections. That's going to be covering everything from guard to top positions to general concepts to hand fighting, stand-up fighting, submissions, leg locks, chokes, gi stuff, everything. There's at least about 40 videos I want to record before the new year that I want to upload. I've got some work cut out, dude. It's gonna be good. So anyone who's interested in this, there's multiple tiers to get involved. That gives you access to the base content and the webinars. There's 2 webinars a month now. There's going to be a Q&A webinar and an actual voted for seminar. We're doing the first voted for seminar this weekend. So then there'll be the database of all the seminars. Man, what have I done? But yeah, in theory. There's going to be merchandise. The merchandise is sorted. Oh, dude, it's the full system going. All
nice.
in. Rash guards, t-shirts. Yeah.
Oh yes, I love some of them.
What a time to be alive. Ready for 2024. It's going to be a big year. I'm pretty much already booked out like seminars up until pretty much the end of March.
Oh, you're sounding like Preet now, you are.
Coming for you, old man. Not in that way. Like, it's not enough towels.
So when you say you booked up till March, is that what is that a frequency, like once a week or once every 2 weeks, or
whenever I've got the gaps that allow it? So taking into consideration being a dad, helping with the gym and everything else. Yeah, man, it's looking busy. Good. Anyway, how are you? You look well.
I'm always well.
I need to upload the video of you. I'm gonna put it on my Instagram pretty much as soon as we've done this, of you dicking me the other day.
Oh, a flying helicopter.
Dude, I wanted a helicopter arm by you. Then you just like essentially cartwheeled over me.
Helicopter. I rewatched that multiple times, and I was thinking, I had nowhere to base off, so how did I manage to just swing half midway through it and end up around his head?
It makes no sense.
I think hips in it, groovy hips and that.
I just laughed. I was just there laughing on the floor, just like, I don't know what just happened. So we record pretty much all our rolling sessions. So I have and for anyone who's interested in like doing this, who wants to record their like rolls, so I use GoPro that connects up to YouTube, and you can run YouTube Live from the GoPro. I think you need at least 50 subscribers. I think that's the minimum for running YouTube Live. But if you have 50 subscribers, then your GoPro will just live record to YouTube. And then when you click finished, it's already there for you. So I connect my GoPro through my phone's Wi-Fi hotspot. That then runs to YouTube Live. It means then, at the end of the session, there's a HD quality video of the rolls, almost like a security camera. And it saves me having to upload. You imagine, when we do a 2-hour session, imagine uploading a 2-hour HD video. The file size will be insane.
Yeah.
But it means that we have a private group or WhatsApp group where we just go back and we can watch our roles. And initially, it had a
I take the piss out of each other.
altruistic intent. It does not anymore. It's literally like, how can we abuse each other and then just laugh about it?
Film it and laugh about it.
It's brilliant for that. I mean, I think it built the team up. It made everyone like really happy, and it's not been used maliciously that much.
Well, it
And
is called
sometimes
Slam Cam.
yeah,
I mean, the name doesn't really help us trying to describe it the way we are, but yeah.
yeah. I think that my bad. I'm sorry.
Slam Cam.
But I thought it was really like it was worth it. I think the only issues that we had were because we play music in the gym. Obviously, if the GoPro picks that up, then it triggers YouTube's copyright. So we had to get the media mod and plug in a microphone to kill the audio. We did try other things like, do you remember when we used to put like things that we tried putting things
over the
around, like,
microphone.
stuff, it just didn't work. So there is a way of engineering out the problem. I think it's so much fun.
Yeah, it is. Good addition.
I'm glad we did it. Yeah, exactly. You can engineer your way out of most problems like that. And yeah, so I like the little clips that we find. One of them is in our recent return to the gi. I thought I'd helicopter you, and you no-handed cartwheeled out of my
I know.
helicopter.
I couldn't believe it myself. I was like, I thought I'm gonna get armbar. I was ready to turn and not give you my shoulder for the armbar, but somehow my hips managed to go over. I was like, okay, I'll take that.
I was ready to slam you. I want to, because it's the first time I had you fully in the air. I was like, I'm going to put him through the deck, and it.
Balance and posture. To be fair, I tried my very best to have my back straight in midair. I think back straight fucking just went woo.
Man, it's bugged me for like 3 days now.
Balance and posture.
Yeah, how about just tuck and roll next time? Yeah, fuck you. Anyway, so as always, we put out to Instagram. What do you want to know? And I like, again, this is Jimmy Savile's mail in. Like, Jim will fix it. Again, I'm still catching up with the news. I'm only up to about 1979 right now. This Thatcher woman looks dangerous. There's so many seasons. So don't ruin it. Don't ruin the ending. Anyway, so yeah, people have sent in questions. Some I think we should answer in video form, which could go on the regular YouTube channel. But the first one, really important start to this mailbag of questions. Wrist locks, legit or only for bastards?
Legit as fuck, mate. I wrist locked someone today. It was a white belt. Well, I was rolling, and then he came at me like, proper, I was just messing around, and just nicely took him down, and nicely had a Kimura and armbar set up there. And I just looked at him, and I thought, you know what? I have to teach you a lesson. So I just slowly applied the right pressure, and he was tapping. And he looked at me and he smiled. And I was like, yeah, you got it, didn't you? It was like a subliminal message to him, like, fuck around, find out.
I remember liking it to, like, the film Home Alone.
Yeah.
And like you're is it Kevin McAllister, and you're setting up your house, and you've got the paint cans, and you've wired up the sink taps of electricity. That's just setting up all the other like submissions in jiu-jitsu. Like very intricate, like traps and everything. And the wrist lock is just like, as soon as the wet bandits break in, you just like glock them both in the head. It's like you've got all these traps, you're like, nah, fuck it, boom, boom, and just put them both down. That's a wrist lock. Like, you just fuck the traps, just wrist lock them. So
I mean, they're legit, but some fuckers have some flexible wrists, man. It's like, they do not tap the wrist locks. Like, don't you need to use that hand for other things? Like, you know what I mean? It's going to hurt when you're trying to do other things.
I won't use the names, but I remember hearing a story of someone who, from a friendly gym of ours,
Ooh,
who
we
had
got a few friendly
this.
games.
We have a few friendly gyms. We have many gyms that don't like us.
That's what I was thinking.
From a friendly gym, this gentleman had a student, a lower belt, who didn't believe in tapping to chokes and would rather visit Valhalla every time. I think he was on first names terms with Odin by this point. And said higher belt got said Viking in a mounted triangle, and this lad blacks out as per usual. Upper belt doesn't realise, and he's like, this fucker. He starts wrist locking him whilst he's unconscious. Not realizing he's unconscious, and like his is like he's not even tapping into the wrist lock, obviously, and his hand's super flexible at this point. And when the kid comes back around, like, he lets go of him, realizes he's unconscious, lets him come back around. It's like, oh shit, like didn't realize you were out. But
I was wondering why you weren't tapping.
do you know you've got really flexible wrists? And the kid's like, no, I haven't. He's like showing him like how inflexible his wrist is. Oh no, it's just it must be all in your mind then. Like, as soon as you're unconscious, like you're really flexible.
Mate, he must have had a painful few days.
Oh, can you imagine like just slamming someone's fingers into their forearm and just like
Ooh, you got flexible wrist, bro. And he's gone crunch, 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 crunch.
I don't know. I think I wouldn't want to do the experiment of like putting someone's ass out and then seeing if their wrists flexible.
No,
But we do have some people who are Valhalla regulars, so maybe they'll donate their wrists to science.
Or they,
so
they get they get very close, and you have to ask them like, "Brother, are you sure? Like, you know what I mean? You're going purple, like, you know what I'm saying?"
I think some people get off on it, man.
That's sad.
Like,
We've
dude,
heard some stories, haven't we?
there's some perverts in jiu-jitsu, man. Yeah, like, I mean, there's some people, I've been teaching them private lessons, and
Oh yeah.
again, I don't like saying names and like giving away too many details, but there's this dude, man, he, weird cat, and
The marathon runner.
For a takedown, I'm pretty sure the dude had an erection, and I'm like, oh, that almost took my eye out.
This is different.
This is different. I don't think you're here to learn jiu-jitsu, are you? I mean, I still kept him doing the privates because he paid, but
You have to admit that on camera. He kept poking in the face. I'll take the money though.
Yeah, fuck it. You want jiu-jitsu, like?
But did he ever confront him? Did he ever say to him like, "Brother, you okay?" Like,
no, like I don't want to make him feel bad.
And then he just stopped.
As long as he's happy. I think the pandemic happened, so it's quite a long time ago.
Oh, that's fine. Man. You got lucky then. Or else he's going to eventually penetrate you.
Have you been contacted by that other guy yet? I think he's Italian. He messages pretty much all black belts, and he's like asking if they'll come to his house and like choke him.
No.
Well, it's pretty well known.
He's probably got a death wish.
He didn't. It took him a while to message me. Eventually, when I got the message, I was like, "Oh, it's finally happening." And he messaged me and was like, "We come out to my house." He lives in a different country, and I was like, "As long as you don't turn me into a lampshade, then sure." But I set him a price. It's like, "That's too high." I'm like, as if perverts have a high price. Like, okay, well, you don't want to be choked, obviously. Like, if you're not willing to pay, wasn't that high a price? Motherfucker. Would have been weird. I think it's good. Yeah. I was definitely going to need a hotel because I didn't want to sleep there because I'd wake up probably with like his ball sack on my eyes or something. Dude, jiu-jitsu is just full of weirdos and perverts.
Yeah, unfortunately.
As well, I don't think you can get to black belt without being a bit of a weirdo anyway. Just like the simple fact that you dedicate your life or such a large portion of your life.
I'm weird, but not weird like that, bro.
Yeah, not weird like that.
Yeah,
black belts are just...
I'm not normal. I agree with that. I was literally saying that to my missus about 10 minutes ago. I was like, I got a screw loose, so, it's just one of the things.
don't know what comes first. Do you think jiu-jitsu breaks you and makes you a weirdo, or do you think just weirdos are the type of people to get a black belt?
I think the ones like you say, you've said it before a couple of times where they come in and they just don't go, and there's something about them that in their life which is saying to them, bro, you got to do this because if you don't, then you're gonna end up hurting someone. Well, that's me anyway. So
I think, yeah, you see some people who say you're too stupid to leave. Like, you're going to be here a while, and I should know. I've been there the longest. Like, I am the stupidest man in the room.
Sometimes you even ask yourself, like, why am I doing this? Like, on one of them like thoughtful days you're having where you're reflecting and thinking, and then you're thinking, why am I doing this? And then when you finish the session, you're like, I know I am doing this.
You got like your jaw being twisted up and your eye socket being crushed. You think, why am I down here? Oh, I like this. Apparently, when you got when you got someone's sweat dripping onto your face and
Oh, that's nasty.
hair.
That's the
hair.
part that I don't like. Yeah, hair as well, like.
It's hair in your mouth. And you're just
Yeah.
like, which one's this and whose is it? Or you've just been Wolverined by some clown who hasn't cut their nails. Or
Oh yeah, that's the worst. Especially the hands. Every time you try to eat and or wash your hands or something, it's stinging, man.
oh, dude, it's like Matt Burn, but inflicted by an asshole. Like, oh, funny one. Nah, fuck it. It's. I can't. It's not.
Are you
fair.
exposing people today, Chris? Sounds like you're exposing
I'm in
people
a bit of
today.
a mood. Fuck, I can't. That's a bit unfair. Anyway, I'll tell you afterwards. So, next question.
Yes.
And this is more of a serious one.
Okay.
So, okay, we're back.
Are we
in the room.
serious?
Thoughts on structuring a beginner fundamentals curriculum? We talked about this recently, but
Yeah.
we can recap for those who haven't listened.
Oh yeah. Are we still doing that documentary thing or what?
Yeah, I intend to. It's just
Yeah.
finding the frickin' time, along with creating, writing the book, writing the new Fanatics DVD. I'm on that. Making a whole video database of techniques and their underlying concepts. Doing webinars, doing seminars, doing online coaching, doing in the gym coaching, running the gym.
It's a big list.
I'll
Big
find
list.
the time for making a documentary as well. But that kit that we've got going right now, oh Lord, isn't it good? The camera and the microphone. Oh, the quality.
For recording, yeah, sick.
I think we could definitely do Fanatics quality at home. We can release more. Yeah, but the documentary will happen. So what are your thoughts? I know we've talked about this recently on a beginner fundamental curriculum.
So I remember when we spoke about this last, and I said to you that I've literally just started. I've had a new batch of guys in the gym, and I've started like a beginners. I've started them in a different way than I usually would, where I've concentrated more on like keeping spaces closed and posture and balance and wrestling mainly first, hand fighting, stuff like that. So I'm 8 weeks in now, 9 week on Saturday, and just started leg locks with them. So we've gone to the ground. I haven't taught them guard or nothing, but I'm starting leg locks with them because I thought I need to get leg locks through to them because they'll have that fundamental idea in there. And if they want to go for them and get better and they can, it's their game, they can play it, but then they know. Like I'm still trying to figure out after leg locks where I'm going to take them. I'm still not going to teach them guard though. I wanted to teach them some of the postures to keep the gap space again, going from wrestling down to the floor. But I thought the leg lock, because it's the dirty thief, and it's one of the ways where a lot of the guys are getting caught in our gym as well, where they are leaning forward too much or getting the balance of posture wrong, and the leg lock is what is catching them now that we're doing in the gym as well. So. Yeah, it's got to start with wrestling always, man. Like, don't be on the floor. And how do you not get on the floor? You got to learn how not to get on the floor. Then you got to hand fight, then defense. And now we move on to when you're on the floor, how to get the fuck back up safely. And then everything else.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think the way I structure it is again like this idea that day one, just say, right, put the other person on their ass. And I've said it before, like, you think of the styles of wrestling that have existed throughout human history. Doesn't matter where or when. I mean, I can't remember who said it, but you stick a couple of humans together, and they'll do three things. They'll learn to communicate, they'll wrestle, and they'll fuck. And
yeah, he's not wrong.
Literally, that's our history. And so you think the Vikings had their Gleamer, they had all the British styles of folk wrestling, catch, Irish collar and elbow, Scottish backhold, Cornish wrestling, etc. Then you had all the different Middle Eastern styles of wrestling. You had all the Senegalese wrestling. You have judo, which is a form of wrestling, and the European styles, Greco, Pancrase. They all hit the same conclusion, though. Thousands of years and thousands of miles apart, they all thought, we need to put that other person on their back. Once that other person's on their back, they're done. And as long as I don't fall over, essentially, I find the person on top. And that is the core idea of jiu-jitsu, is that if I put someone on their ass, they can't generate power as much. So I actually did a breakdown. Have you seen the fight of Omar Kane, I think his name is, and Buchecha? One.
No.
So I just did a breakdown of it on the Patreon. In theory, BJJ. Just plug. Yeah, I someone sent me the fight and was like, "Will you do a fight breakdown for the Patreon?" I was like, "Yeah." So yeah, anyone who wants me to do fight commentary, like big ones like that, yeah, send them in, because they're all going on the In Theory BJJ. But I did a breakdown. It's about 10 minutes of Omar Kane versus Buchecha. And, Buchecha's shooting for takedowns. Kane's having none of it. And a little bit of adversity. And Buchecha just pulls guard. And Kane, again, has none of it. He's tripoding over him. He's got really good, posture of his back. And he's just leathering him. And, he deals with Buchecha's up kicks, gets around him and just fucking leathers him. And he just rinse and repeat for the entire fight.
Buchecha lost?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Against this Senegalese wrestler.
Is it latest? Is it a new fight? I haven't seen it. I haven't followed it.
It's his most recent fight. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Oh, damn.
You can find it on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll have a watch of that.
Yeah. I'll send you the YouTube for the breakdown if I can find it. Yeah, it's a really good fight, and he's shooting for the odd takedown. He's getting stuffed. He's just pulling guard off the takedown, and Kane just leathers him. And that's the thing. It's a perfect example of guy on top having the base and balance to deliver what they want, and if the person on the bottom, even if they've got elite level jiu-jitsu, can't break the other person's posture and balance, and the up kicks don't work, you literally have nothing, and you don't want to be there anymore. And that is jiu-jitsu. That's the initial idea of jiu-jitsu, but it's just become weird over time and bastardized.
Sit on your ass.
Exactly. So fuck it. Let's go back to all of our ancestors are looking at us, going, "What are you doing?
Yeah, get up, pussies. Get up.
Get up." You would have been eaten. So yeah, I'd stick that as the fundamentals. Just right, okay, we'll put them down, be on top, and get them feeling that idea of power is key in this. And you've really got to explain that idea of, we're not competing with each other in this room. We need to make ourselves better. This is a power game, and because it's a power game, there's going to be people in this room who can't generate as much as you, but we all need to improve. So help those people by tapering your power. Don't be a dick. And I think that's crucial day one stuff.
Yeah.
You have to be able to understand that this is a power game, and you need to be able to taper your power so everyone gets benefit out of this. Yeah, and I'd go from there. And do all the turns and stuff like that, and just high hipping and hip heisting, getting back up again, elbow framing, and that's enough. I think that is, again, it's very easy to get stuck in the trap of thinking you have to drown people in technique, and it makes me laugh because I've been doing this so long now. Is whenever we have new people in, everyone was like, jumping on the new person, like, oh, come here, I'll show you some stuff. And like, everyone's really excited about their jiu-jitsu. And they're like, oh, I'll show you some guard, I'll show you some close guard, I'll show you some half guard. And this person's on like day 1 or day 2 and their brain's just melting at this point. Like, I can't remember anything you're showing me. Like, I remember some fucker, like, a couple of years ago showing like a buggy choke. And like, this person doesn't know where the fuck they are, who the fuck you are, why the fuck they're here. And you're showing them the buggy choke. They're not going to remember this shit at all.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But people are excited. There's new people. But yeah, I think the documentary would help. Or maybe some videos.
Yeah.
In a certain learning platform. Documentary. Next question. There was one on. So there's 2 that I'm going to put on video. I think are better. Like I think this one's going to be a breakdown video. So it's judo entries into bow and arrow and any potential issues. Like I want to do that. I want to do a breakdown of it. So I'll do some clips. Look out for that one. High leg guard retention. I think that could be a video of its own on the YouTube channel, and it's easier to explain than on the podcast. Escaping or preventing the pass when they have your hip controlled.
In what way? You can control the hips in different ways.
I think, well, if you've got something on the hips, because that's the thing is like guard passing starts, and this is going into Christian Graugart's G-spot class from 8 years ago, is finding a man's G-spot or woman's, but it's funny when you say it the other way around. So your G-spot, your guard spot is your knees. There's a seminar. That was a seminar in Denver where I said that in a seminar, and some kid goes home and tells his mom that. Goes to his mom like, Mom, I know where your G spot is. She obviously looks horrified. He goes, it's your knees. I got that text. It's made my life. I'll never get bored of reading it. That's gonna be some disappointed women in that lad's future. I was told I have to look for this. Just starts tickling their kneecaps.
Can you imagine? That'd be mad. How does that feel?
Like, he'll like feel? See her disappointed face and then scream at the sky. No, Chris Paynes, you lied to me. Where the fuck was I?
G-spot the knees, guard passing.
So as soon as a guard pass actually happens, as soon as someone gets past your kneecaps, and then they're just adding the rest of themselves past your knees, because there's nothing else. There's no other joints to stop at that point as soon as they're past the kneecap. So you think if they're on your hips, that you fucked up a long time ago. It's like, we both do it when it comes to guard passing from half guard, is that we both catch the bottom knee, don't we? We both look at each other and we're like, when we catch the bottom knee, like, I'm halfway past your guard.
Yeah, fuck off. Fuck off.
Like, anyone says like knee shield can be easily passed. Yeah, if they've got the bottom knee as well.
Yeah.
Like, if they've got the bottom knee, it's kind of easy. So don't let them control your bottom knee. And I think that we covered it in the BJJ Fanatics videos, didn't we? Like, don't touch the knees. Basics of guard retention, really.
Yeah.
And so if they're getting all the way to your hips, like you fucked up. Like, you need to have that kind of hard awareness first. But if they do get to your hips because you fucked up, running man,
underhooks if you can, but framing on shoulders. Like if they control your hips and they're like laying low, then you play the whole get up stuff, don't you? But if they are where you're talking like they've passed your guard and now you need to like look for underhooks and start fucking. Running man helps as well. Like, you can go turtle and shit.
Well, that's the thing is that if someone's on your hips, I remember Preet saying this years ago when he first started showing us this stuff like 6 years ago, was that just because they got past your legs doesn't mean they've passed your guard. I mean, in the technical sense, they have in like points. You shouldn't have let them pass your guard.
Yeah.
But if they got hip control, you ain't shrimping or anything. And that's why you get hip control. You think a shrimp is you creating space to move your hips, to put them back south of your knees again. That is a shrimp. Doesn't matter what direction, you just need to create space to put them back south of your knees. But if they've got your hips, you can't generate that space to put them back south of your knees. So don't let them in your armpits. And they've got to let go of your hips at some point to go north. At that moment, fucking escape. And And that's essentially it. It's like, don't escape when someone's on your hips, because they're taking this. We call it sugar in the gas tank, where if someone's on your hips, they're just drowning the energy out of you, because your engine's running on treacle at this point, and it's just sluggish and it's shit. So don't try and escape when someone's sitting on your hips, because it's fucking worthless.
Waste of energy, man.
Sven did a class on it, like based on everything of Craig Jones and stuff, is that side control is way easier to escape than like knee rides and leg rides.
Agreed.
And because side control gives you a lot of hip freedom to be able to get up and stuff like that, whilst leg rides, they're sitting on your hips. It's really hard to move when someone's sitting on your hips. And yeah, it's what we found is that when you come across people who believe in getting up, you learn about controlling hips way more.
Yeah. Big time. Like, remember when we started it, we could not keep each other down. It was mad. And now it's
completely
like, get up,
turtle.
I dare you. I dare you, get up.
Broke turtle completely, because again, like when you play turtle in the jiu-jitsu world, like the pre-turtle worked, the old pre-turtle, is because you're denying access to the armpits to stop chokes and back takes and stuff like that. But when you come across people who are trying to stop you from standing, pre-turtle dies, because they just lift your ankle and slam your head into the floor. And then those gaps just clean open. And I found that we were doing that because we were so used to people then starting to stand. We were like, if I lift your ankles in the floor, you can't stand. And then the pre-toe was just dying horrendously. I think that's why referee actually makes more sense.
Yeah.
Weirdly. I think you need to know about the gaps, and it's going to be fun making this video to break this
Active
down.
turtle works, though. Active turtle works.
Conceptually. Yeah, like a half referee.
Yeah.
It's going to be going on the site, dude. There's so much I need to record. Good Lord. Yeah, so I'd say that don't try and do shit when they're on your hips, because you need to wait till they're off your hips, try and go north, and then do their stuff. But try and deal with someone who's on your hips. It just drowns you. It just wastes your energy. Next question. Resources for attacking from defensive BJJ.
Resources, well, so they want techniques, how to attack from the bottom.
For generating attack from the defensive BJJ.
What? We don't even play defensive BJJ anymore because
I think that's because obviously people come to us because they think of like, you know, us.
Oh, they want to know how we can attack. Oh, how we break it.
Yeah.
Oh, sit on the.
Well, what resources are online to get ideas? On
Nothing. You have to come to our gym and find out.
Or again, it's going to be all recorded. In theory,
in theory.
I'm going to do snippets on YouTube, but yeah, like because that's essentially what we did in courtesy of Charles, was essentially turning. Which actually, to be fair, the elbow frame Fanatics DVD that we did with Charles, that does break down going from defense to offense really well.
Yeah.
It does. There's that already out in the world.
You can see how the whole postures break when you start playing the elbow frame. Like you don't need to play them, and not all of them, and not the way that they are taught or they were taught, because the attacks are different, if you know what I mean. Especially when somebody's attacking that whole getting up system.
Well,
it
came from the whole elbow thing. Came from Charles using running man relentlessly, trying to weaponize it and turn it into attack, and that's where the elbow frame came from. Yeah, so it's out. Yeah, it changed. It did change a lot of the postures. Because of it. But oh Lord, did it work? Yeah, the videos come in.
And Charles,
I did Charles Harriet,
unstoppable stand-ups.
Unstoppable stand-ups.
BJJ Fanatics.
Yeah, we're on there. But in theory, it's going to have all that. Oh, it's all like I've written down all the videos I want to record, and I sat there afterwards looking at it, and I was like, "What have I done? I can't. Not this. Why?"
No, it's good. It's good. It needs to be done.
Final one, and this is going to be funny because you can give advice on this.
Oh.
Tips on how to not get ragdolled by Chris Paines.
Ah,
So this comes from
oh yeah, who does it come from? Tell me who it comes from first.
smaller Norwegian lad when I was in Oslo last week,
Mm.
and I spanked him up and down a little bit, just for fun. He was a blue belt, and he was,
Oh, blue
we had
belt.
fun. I
Okay.
was just picking random things to beat him with.
So they want the secret to beat you.
Tips on how to not get ragdolled.
Hmm. He's a
So
blue
okay,
belt though, like.
this is one thing, and I like this is important, especially if you're rolling with good black belts. I'm not saying I'm a good black belt, but it's kind of important anyway. Is and this is something you have to tell me if you felt this as well. Is as soon as you get your black belt, the fucking target that appears on your back is insane. Like people just want to all the time just want to fight you. I know I can see your face, like yes, especially because I've done the Globetrotters camps now, and there's this year at the Heidelberg camp is the first time I felt like a clown, and like I'm part of the entertainment, and there's obviously like 300 paying punters there, and like I'm part on the coaching, and like I'm there for every open mat, and it's like dance clown dance, and I'm just like my body is dying. It's like no, you're coming for another open mat, like well, I'm dying, and all of us, like a lot of us coaches, were in the instructor hostel afterwards, and we're all lying in bed, like literally just like shaking, like we're in so much pain.
Oh
Um,
shit.
and we all looked at each other like, yeah, we're being abused. And like, it looked like a World War One field hospital with like guys of shell shock. And like, oh, we've got to go to another open mat, and we're rolling in again, just getting the shit kicked out of us. And that's essentially it. It's like, I don't want to have to go fucking balls to the wall every time I jump on the mat. Like
Yeah.
some purple belt or jacked up brown belt looks at us and thinks, I want to get a black belt scalp today. Like we're still human. Like, and I like yeah, you have to tell me if you felt it. Like, people just come for you.
Oh yeah, they fly at it, man. Like they want to hit you. It's like, bruv, like I can show you things, but I'm hurting at the moment because I've had 5 different people try to kill me.
I've got nothing to prove. I just want to play.
Yeah.
And then as soon as some fuck comes at you and like gives you a bit of hell, you're just like, you know what? Fuck you then.
Fuck you,
like,
yeah, fuck you,
I was
bro.
ready to play. I want to play, enjoy the jiu-jitsu, enjoy the roll, enjoy the motion. You want to be a cunt. So, you know what? Fucking get ready to eat some shit.
Fuck sweet, fuck off.
And there's a guy, not this guy. He came a bit a little strong, but yeah, I was just playing. Someone else did come at me like really hard on day one when I was in Oslo. And I was like, fuck, like this, big jacked up dude, and he gets me an arm triangle and almost tears my head off. And I'm like, fuck, okay, that's nice. Like, cool. So day 2, I'm like expecting him, he comes at me hard again. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. And like, he ate everything. Like, he ate so many submissions. I was like, I sat on him. There was like everything. It was like arm bars, leg locks, guillotines. I was like, you know what? None of you is safe. This jacked up purple belt. I was like, you know what? I was ready to play. Everyone else in this gym I've played with. You just wanted to eat it. So let's eat it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you have to set the standard sometimes, innit? Just remind people.
Like, someone's like, I remember someone telling me about Craig Jones, where he's like, if he's at a seminar and stuff, and someone comes at him pretty hard, he just lets them sub him like 15 times, because no one's ever going to then believe. Like if you say like, oh yeah, I subbed Craig Jones, like, did you? But if you say, yeah, I subbed Craig Jones 15 times, like, yeah, no, you didn't. Like, was he asleep? Yeah, and it's kind of funny that this exists. Black belts are people too.
Yeah, 100%. Especially when you got active competitors as well. If they do a seminar, they don't want to, they're not there to have a fight. They just want to play. So, just use the time wisely and give you the experience. And again, it goes back to that thing. How many other sports can you think of where you can get a world class or even a European level grappler to just come in a normal kind of gym and meet and like train with people, like train with average hobbyists? You ain't going to get no football Premier League player to come and bloody on a Sunday league, turn up there and play amongst them lads, would they? It's not. It's one of them things. And legit, this is what our sports are like, where you've got high level athletes, competitors who then, have to go around and pass their skills on. They just want to play. They don't want to have a fight. You know what I mean? They have a fight when they compete. That's where they got to prove it.
I think there's definitely like some with ego, like some black belts who. There was a story on Reddit the other day. I think it was of Yuri Somos, who just
he's tearing people apart.
Yeah, fucking people up at seminars. And you think that's a bit strong. Like you're a world class monster. You don't need to do this.
Yeah. But apparently, I heard it wasn't true. Well, he's claiming it's not true.
Yeah.
Well, the allegation has been made, and in this world nowadays, you just got to say something, and
even
guilty until proven innocent.
Even removing his name from it, like just the idea that there are, I mean, he's not alone. There are black belts who will just let their ego and, the whole lower belts can't ask a higher belt to roll, whatever the hell that nonsense is.
Yeah.
Like it's actually happened to me where there's people have avoided me because I haven't asked them for a roll. I'm like, I'm human, just come and ask me. Like, I want to play a game. Like you come up to me and say, do you want to play a game? Yeah, I'd like to play a game. And yeah, it's hard,
I know,
especially because like you're getting older as well, and things are hurting. And I do one of these week-long camps, and I mean, I remember actually talking to the brown belts at Heidelberg, the black belts, because there was a brown belt roving around the mat, a jacked up, hard leg locking brown belt who just was slamming everything on, and all the black belts like just avoiding this kid because they were like, we're old. He just wants to fucking claim scalps, and I don't want to. I'm here all week. My bones are hurting. I don't need some jacked up fucker ragging on my ligaments. So we just didn't roll with him.
The funny thing is, like, that'll come back around on him because he's going to get old. And some fucker's going to be like, I don't want your fucking head now. And he's going to think, fuck, that was me 10 years ago.
That was probably us at some point, though. Like,
no, also, not me.
Not me. Not terrible. Not terribly bad. But it's like, especially when it comes to seminars, because I didn't appreciate this, because I used to obviously have quite a few people coming in doing seminars, but now I'm lucky enough to go do my own. How exhausting it is. Like, after a 3-hour seminar, my brain is fried.
Yeah.
Like you'd have these brat belts who come in and do their seminar, like, oh, they'll roll, and like, no, not at the end of it. Like, oh, prick, I've paid for your time.
Yeah.
But I get it now. Like, oh my God. Like, I remember listening to a podcast of two comedians talking, like on about how they have their ideas of like, the stuff they want to kind of give in the set, but like this weaving the stories kind of active and live. That's how it feels like sometimes in a seminar or a class. Is like you've got the ideas you want to kind of give in your head, but you're weaving the story. And when you're weaving a story for 3 hours and making it flow and making it make sense and explain the concepts and answering questions, after 3 hours, like you're burned.
Yeah.
And
brain power
then
in
to
it.
roll, like, yeah, like I'm done. Like I need a nap. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I've got low blood iron or something, like a vegan. Yeah, it's black belts are people too, man.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, so tips on that, how to not get ragdolled by Chris Paines. Be nice, Chris Paines.
Yeah, be nice. Yeah,
be nice.
Always just
slow roll.
Yeah, come at the pace that you can give, but then take as well at the same time.
Yeah,
simple.
And exactly. Like if you want to play at 9, I'm gonna play at 10. But if you want to play at 3, I'll play at 3.
Yeah.
This is nice. I've done jiu-jitsu long enough that I can play the game now. I don't need to prove shit. I think that's one of the things about the colored belts, though, is that you always feel you have to prove something. As soon as you get your black belt, did you feel like the weight lifted off you? Like, I've got nothing else to show now. Like, you can all come and submit me.
Yeah.
Come and submit me, like, because it's not going to mean anything. This is never going to be taken away from me.
Yeah, I completed it, mate. Prestige mode.
Exactly. It's you hit a zen moment, I think, when you get that belt. Stuff to look forward to, everyone listening to this. If you're not a black belt yet, like if you are a black belt, let me know. Did you hit your zen moment? Did you transcend this earthly plane when you got your black belt? I'm still there. You look like you're there. Fucking called you out. So yeah, there's a lot coming up soon. It's fun getting back on this.
Busy.
there's some other guests coming on soon. We haven't had guests in a while. Preet is coming back on. Greg Sodas is coming on. And Naomi Schultz, who's just on Grapplefest. She's a beast. She should be on, I think we're chatting next week, so she should be on soon. But we'll still have time for me and you.
We'll get it done, man. We'll get it done.
I know. Thank you for your time again, Naqi. It's always a pleasure. It's always fun doing Reap the Week.
Yeah.
Are you going to be making some videos when we record?
Yes, 100%. I have plenty of lined up. Yes.
Oh, dude. I'm going to charge the battery now.
Yeah. Because, I need to keep it consistent because I got some good ones.
Let's make some. Let's make some sweet content.
Enemies.
I was going to say content, but okay. I guess. See, and I'm the villain.
I'm just too straightforward. That's my problem. I'm just too blunt.
Possibly, yes. Well, this has been another episode of Reap the Week. I think this is episode like 44, 45 now. Wild. Every week since May, we've been on this, Jazz.
Yeah, man. Let's do it. Let's get to the, 100, 200, however many you can go.
We'll have to have some sort of like party on the 100th one. Maybe I have been thinking, because this Riverside thing, I think we can get guests on. Like people to watch in the background, like ask questions, like an audience. I think we should do an audience episode.
Oh shit! On the spot, baby.
I think we could do an audience episode.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
If anyone's interested in like joining in for an audience episode and just harassing us throughout a podcast, let us know, because I think I could make that happen.
You're making it sound like an orgy now. Calm down.
You wait.
It's just no. Your ideas, no.
What's wrong with my ideas?
Nothing.
This has been another episode of Villaincast, Reap the Week with Chris the Villain Pains and Naqi El Jefe our shed. So
boom.
Thank you for your evening, Nak. See you tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Yes, see you tomorrow.